guys, and welcome to my new documentary that I'm calling A Novice's Guide to New York City Graffiti. I started to take notice a little bit of some of the graffiti artists that were in my neighborhood. The first guys I noticed were a guy called Flash and a guy called Jet. I would just sort of see them around. Then I kind of decided, well, really to pay attention to all the graffiti I see. And exactly like they say, you know, the Baader-Meinhof effect. Once you notice it one place, you see it everywhere, right? So then I began to notice all these other graffiti artists all around the city. And so I just wanted to go through a few of them, kind of dive into the whole world of it. One of the things I found to be so fascinating about it actually was the prolific nature of these guys. I mean, the sheer ground that they've covered. You can go, I mean, okay, the big sort of marquee spots where everybody sees it, you know, you go on Canal Street or wherever, you know, they're all over the place there. I'm way down in South Brooklyn, there's some random bodega. One of the guys has hit a spot there. They're literally everywhere. So much so that there's even one of them is even on the side of the building that I live in. You know, this is not a definitive list, so to speak, but I did begin to notice kind of who were the top dogs and what made them seem to me to be top dogs. So first of all, I want to start with Par. He's absolutely everywhere. Tag is literally just the letters P-A-R. Written in this kind of, I don't know, maybe Gothic style a little bit. He always uses different colors, turquoise, an orange, a pink. What really works about his tag, in my opinion, is it's simple. And this is what I began to notice about all the different graffiti artists that I would see. Well, that's just scribbles, or that one's okay. But this one, boom, immediate and simple. I mean, maybe like all great art, right? Next is a guy called Nilo, okay? N-I-L-O. His is a little bit more of a classic kind of bubble graffiti letters. Great color choices, very simple and immediate. He hit this one by my house maybe about a year ago, this gate. I mean, it's beautiful, this beautiful green, I mean, marron. Maybe I even noticed him have a bit of a glow up, if you will, because I didn't initially see him as much. And now also Nilo, everywhere. Everywhere Par is, Nilo is as well. Next is a guy called Joey. Okay, so Joey, it's not letters, but it's a character of this angry looking New Yorker in a sense, and he has this sort of New York Yankees hat on. He's able to kind of repeat the character over and over again, but you know, making it very consistent. Finds great spots, tucked in a doorway, on the side of a truck, whatever. And I feel like it's a good kind of, you know, New York City graffiti type guy. It's like, hey, it's Joey over here. The kind of vibe that I get from him. Okay, next we have a guy called Batola. And what he does is he'll draw a giant bat, or sometimes he'll just say Batola, bigger, much, much bigger, and in a sense, crude, I would say, a little cruder, but that's not to say that it's bad, it's just a different style of graffiti, you know? It's very, very simple, but the pieces are very big, and he must go in the middle of the night and do them, and you know what I'm saying? So. Okay, another guy that I began to see more and more is a guy called Des. And it's just basically D-E-S, but the S looks like a little money sign, and he puts these little money signs in between, in the middle of the letters. Now, I definitely see Des more in a kind of Brooklyn, Queens type of area, in the industrial area. Des is another guy that was a bit of a glow up. At first, I didn't see him as much, or I would actually see his tag sometimes, and I wouldn't really like it. You know, he refined his tag a little bit, and I began to really like it and be attracted to it. And he actually just hit one by the Rite Aid by my house. It's like absolutely beautiful. Stands out immediately from all the kind of scribbles or other tags around it. Okay, so next we have this little character. I don't even know what to call him. But it's sort of a little guy with little arms and looks like a little cartoon character from the 90s. I don't know. He'll sort of be doing different things. In one instance, he's holding a puppy by the scruff of his neck. And another one, he's sort of dressed like a shaman. And he has this staff and a sort of skull mask. Another one I found, he did a tribute to MF Doom, who obviously passed away a couple of years ago, 2-3 years ago now. Again, this guy is everywhere the other guys are. And he's able to recreate this character with slight variations, but the style is always the same, always clean, always noticeable, always stands out from the rest. Okay, another guy you'll see is a guy called XSM. I really like XSM. Again, like I said, very simple, letters, Colors, great choices. Sometimes he'll add some flourishes, he'll make it glitter or glow. Okay, Quasar. Quasar is another one that I see that's Q-U-A-S-A-R. He does a little bit different, I don't even know how you'd call this style. I don't know. It's not bubble, it has more right angles to the letters. But again, very nice. He sort of two-tones them and makes a different kind of style about them that I really like. There's another guy called Tony. Tony is similar in the Batola style in a very simple black and white kind of cruder graffiti style. I don't see this as disrespect, I just say this as when you compare it to the other ones. But Tony is absolutely everywhere, hit some massive, massive pieces. I mean, huge. All off the J train, in the city, absolutely everywhere I've seen Tony. Okay, another one is called You Go Girl, sometimes stylized Hugo Girl. But I first noticed You Go Girl a long time ago, and it was a hand, this kind of hand, but it's like all green, it's like a witch's hand. What I liked about her style was that there was different body parts that you would see everywhere. There would be a hand, an arm, a face, there's ooze sometimes coming off of it. This is a kind of maybe a feminist graffiti, I don't know. Maybe it's kind of like making a comment about women and what society expects of them, or this is pure speculation, guys. The pieces are bigger. I don't know that I see her all the time, but the pieces that she's made have been there for a long, long time in New York. I mean, I'm talking 6, 7, 8 years. They've been in the same place, like since I first moved here. Okay, Zoot. Zoot is another guy I noticed. He'll have a certain style, he'll switch his style up, different kind of outlines and different color coding and, you know, two-toning it and stuff like that. Sometimes it'll just be very simple Zoot. Again, big, big pieces. I see them on Canal Street, but I also see them everywhere. And I really like his style. He's kind of changes and switches it up a lot in a way that's very, very fascinating. These are just guys that I noticed. There's a ton of other kind of honorable mentions or interesting pieces, one-offs, ones I don't see as many of. But what I do notice is that these few guys that I mentioned, these are, I think, the most prolific, the ones I see the most in New York City. I also kind of like the idea of just following their work without really knowing who they are. And, you know, and hey, this is for you, a novice's guide to NYC graffiti. You don't really have to know that much about it, but maybe if you watch this video, you'll start to notice these guys are everywhere, or maybe in your own city, you know, that's not New York, you'll start to say, hey, I know that guy, I know that guy, I know that guy.